All right. So, last time you guys went all the way to Audrey, flying with Iskander of the Flybys. Not only seeing what was left from the cataclysmic ruins from the sky calamity and whatever was taking place on the surface, but you also saw the winged creatures that were somewhat imposing on the barren void, as well as the large complex structure that was basically creating the barren void from the surface. You guys, though, made it to Audrey, found Teldris and Liam Jameson
Did you ever
in Panau.
show us what those creatures look like?
No, they were silhouetted with like a
They were close enough. We just got like a shadow.
yeah, imagine like a winged horse-like creature.
Oh, yeah, evil Pegasus.
Yeah, very dark silhouetted. Is basically what you saw in one. While you guys were flying, you guys though did see that Panau was in this vampiric state, taken over and in some sort of war with some group known as some lycanthrope. After knowing this, you guys weren't there long. You took Teldris, took the charm, went back to Liam, and now have found yourselves back at the high peaks with Jacqueline and the rest of the flybys, as well as with Teldris and Liam, while you guys are trying to figure out what the next step is in your adventure. You guys talked for quite a while though, and I don't know, you guys have a lot of different options. So I guess that's where we'll start, is in the high peaks. It's late into the night at this point, as you guys had taken a long rest. And with that, the meeting had taken place in media, and from what your recollection is that Harriet would most likely be heading back probably soon. You're not quite sure though, but
Last we heard, because we talked to Orlando, shit went tits up. She was injured. The meeting was ended early, even.
Yep. Ended early. Yep.
I believe we were planning on.
Well, you guys talked to Jacqueline about, you know, it was a 2-day travel if you guys wanted to get the gliders, essentially, if you wanted to go that way, but the weather was shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of up to you guys, but
Flying is almost safer than the suits, and it's only like a day longer.
well, actually, it's not. I think it's a little bit longer than that. I think it's 2 days by glider, and I think it'd probably be closer to like maybe 4 or 5. I mean, you guys got to realize you guys are pretty far from Inventus. You guys are all the way in the like west part of Hexwell.
It's okay. It's just, 2 days pure air glider travel just doesn't seem safe at all. Because after 8 hours, that's one exhaustion. And then another
Hey,
8 hours,
I'm
it's
just
another
saying.
one.
I'm just saying.
And at 5, you die. So,
I mean, you could always mix and combo the two. You could always try and jump, see how far you make it.
Those who had one exhaustion.
No, you guys long rested. You guys have all long
So
rested.
if you only have one,
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
good.
So, what are you guys doing?
Were we talking about maybe going back to?
I think so. Inventus is more or less not quite in between us and Alberzine, but Inventus is west of Alberzine, and we're way west.
We were
Yeah.
gonna talk to Strong.
We're also north of
about
that.
if he knew anything about how to stop us.
Right.
Strom's in Albany.
Sure, yeah, he will. he's in
Inventus.
Yeah.
So
I think
Strong.
we talked about possibly talking to him about.
we can get Strom, Teldris, actually all in the same room. We might be cooking with gas. So getting we're going to Inventus. It's just a matter of getting there. I don't care. Either way is not fine. I would have preferred to have gotten there quicker, but I think between the weather and teaching Leo how to, and fucking a child how to glide is probably not the best idea. But yeah, we're probably just gonna boat. We're gonna goose boat.
Yeah.
Goose. I also wanted to speak to Josephine Enru.
Okay.
And just let him know that with all of his adventures and journeys into the barren void, if he ever comes upon any conflux, I'm in the market.
Okay. So you talk to him, and he makes note. All right, now let's see here. High Peak to Inventus. Flying. That's like, because you guys are technically in Gildre. Like, we're talking
Yeah.
way over.
High Peak is just south of the Gildre Newall border.
Mm-hmm. Like, okay, here.
Newall is way far north.
Yeah, if you want me to put this up,
So we're
you're deep. You guys are freaking deep. I don't even know another way to put it. So look, you guys, you guys are here, all right?
Oh, Inventus is north of Albertsy.
And you have Inventus here.
Yeah.
So you guys literally have like a straight east shot.
Just ignore that we have to fly over something called the Swamps of Sorrow.
And
And-
we don't. Yeah,
Just
they're frozen right now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
And
Oh, that's
it's,
great. Giant
It's
ice
probably like a week and a half travel. Because I mean, well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking, you guys are covering like 75 miles. Yeah, okay, in one day you guys can cover, I think flying is about 40 miles, I'll give you. And that's being super fucking generous at going like the fastest speed I'd probably let you travel.
Mhm.
You guys are in High Peak. You know, we're talking, this is almost a 3-day travel.
How fast do you fly in miles per hour?
It's his speed times like 10 or whatever. Like, I've looked this up. I know he can't travel more than like 40 or some miles in a day. It's really not that
What is
much.
that yellow line? Is that road?
Give me an intelligence check.
Is there a rail system in this fucking continent?
Some sort of trail or rail system, yeah.
It says trail on the map.
Does it really? Shit.
100.
Yeah. You have the marker, right? The 75 marker?
I've got a 90 marker,
Okay.
and I just used my fingers.
Right, that's
But
about,
roughly 400 miles
Okay.
from where we are to Inventus.
so you're looking at about a 10-day, maybe 9-day, depending on how fast you want to get there, travel, just goosing it up.
How long? How much on a glider?
That's
2
what we
days.
hope.
Shit.
Glider was 2 days. Yeah, see the difference.
The glider's also lethal
Yeah.
To your arms.
to anything, actually.
You're not wrong.
You realize me, the dwarf, failed a strength check and broke my arm.
Yeah, but you're not
And that's a child.
You're not strong.
We have a child.
Maybe this child is buff. Maybe he
Maybe.
takes after his uncle. His uncle's pretty strong.
He's like he has been described to us as malnourished.
Yeah.
You've been taking your vitamin C, boy.
Maybe light symptoms of scurvy too.
How many people
looking at?
are we
Intelligence
going to be
check?
traveling?
It's up to you.
It's us, Life, the boy, and fucking Pug's brother.
6.
Liam.
You know.
I mean,
Then probably the instructor guy.
you
'cause
wouldn't.
he's gonna
I mean,
tag
you don't
along
have
because
to.
he's the
You don't
guy.
have to take everyone. Can.
Oh, let's just leave them. Then we have to fucking come back here.
I'm just
You know,
saying.
like,
What are your goals? That's all I'm saying.
I
What are your
mean,
goals?
Technically, wait a minute. We could leave one of them here and take one of the orbs that allows us to come back here with a Percy patch.
So we get another charm. We go to Percy, like, hey, Percy, I need
And
that hookup.
Also,
Teleport back, pick them up.
Also-
and then go back.
Oh God, you
also-
guys lost that patch that he gave you, didn't he?
What patch?
For your boat. Oh no, you have the
No,
boat.
I
You have the boat.
Yeah.
also,
Oh, you were talking for the teleport.
Yeah,
never mind.
Yeah, no, Percy.
also, they'd be
I-
safer here.
Want to try to tell.
Oh, okay, with your paper?
Yeah,
Okay.
why the fuck haven't we... Yeah, let's do that.
That's not like an infinite resource, though. You think it's just gonna work? You think like you will?
What do we lose?
I don't know. I guess we can try. Sure.
We try to
Sure.
teleport and we end up somewhere, but at least we'll be closer.
Maybe.
No, we end up in like a
Yeah.
wall. Just die.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it depends on how are you planning on phrasing
The
it?
barren void midair.
How are you planning on phrasing it?
That's
Or-
why
So
we're talking about it in
I don't
character
know,
right now.
Does all
He's
of your,
asking us.
Does your paper, does it do verbs or does it create nouns? Instead of say teleport us here, why don't you say create, or why don't you just say like a portal that opens in like the town market in Albersy or something, and then it might make a portal, which is a noun, which is a little harder.
Portal to location.
Yeah, as opposed to teleport us. That's it being a verb is.
Why don't you ask the paper
right.
for an
No.
airship that's immune to the effects of weather that we can just fly?
That does, yeah.
Maybe ask for it to have like be
I
an
already
awakened,
tried.
make
I
it
already-
maybe be an awakened airship so it has its
I already asked if I could do that.
What the fuck is it?
win.
When I was asking about what kind of boat, if I could like. spawn
Okay, he can only
spelljamers.
make certain things within reason.
So I was gonna.
He can't.
Well, you
I
have
didn't
a,
ask
you
for
have
a
like a mineral
spelljammer.
that is like required for airships. And I can't remember its name right now. It's not Brunestone. Fucking, I had it written down at some point because when we first, this is actually not Aurum. This is the Kobold.
Yeah, Kodo.
On the ship, and we were talking about this fucking mineral and shit. And I cannot. And the cavern, the dragon cavern, had some of it in it, if I recall.
It was like the
correctly.
fuel, right?
I don't
Kept it
remember.
Vespin?
floating or some shit.
Oh, you're talking. Oh shit! Yeah, I'd have to look that one up.
I don't remember.
That was
the
like
name of it
that's
either.
Vlad things that I remember
Yeah,
somehow.
exactly.
So I was gonna say like
just like create some
thinking
that.
of it kind of like whatever the Hearthstone
Homing Earth.
or like
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could try a Hearthstone or I could just it would be like a port key where I could just say like teleport 6
Oh yeah, you could throw on like a
6
little
members
adjective
to Inventus or 2 Homestead and
Mhm,
Inventus.
mhm.
Because I mean I've traveled all we've traveled all through.
1 second. What is an actual spell effect that allows you to teleport somewhere?
teleport.
What's the effect of teleport?
Teleport. You literally all have to be touching, and it teleports an amount of people to a specific location. And
But doesn't that have to target
it's-
circles?
No, that's teleport. That's teleportation circle.
Hmm.
Teleport is a higher level skill that ignores that. That being said, you have to roll like a D100 or something, and the more familiar you are with that location, the more likely it is to succeed. So if it's in a place that you're very familiar with,
Yeah, so if
You
he
would almost
asks
automatically
for a wand of teleportation and casts it to teleport us to his home that you own with orphans.
yeah, he wouldn't even have to specify home. He can literally go Inventus, and or like he could picture Gerald Strong's house. It could be.
That's my point.
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't have
just
to be
make a wand of
something
hope. That's
abstract
the
like home.
easiest wording.
But does fuck this know?
That's why Magnus is saying this.
Yeah.
We are talking in character right now because he has no fucking idea what to write. We are brainstorming. He asked that as fuck this.
Yeah. That being said, teleporting once a day would be fun, even if it was like once a week. That would be fantastic.
And this would be I wouldn't care to use a page for this.
Yeah.
Way.
Yeah, the fucking bag of holding is
Especially-
still here.
Especially if it's something that can let us teleport again and again and again. If you can get some mileage out of it, that'd be fantastic.
Or even the knowledge that we can make one, and if it only works once, we can make another one later.
Yeah, that's fair.
And in a situation like this is perfect too.
Sure. So if you want to start jotting, sounds great.
Okay, I'll start jotting.
Banking in on this plan. They're like, well, here we go.
Sure.
Afraid of flying?
Yeah.
What are those?
I am a dwarf,
One,
earth boy. Dupers live underground.
Yeah.
Specifically, okay?
Going too high makes us frightened.
A lot I lived on as a child was just a trap door.
All right, so while fuck this is over here, while you're mounting pressure on him for what to write, are the rest of you doing anything? Teldris and Life are just kind of hanging out, waiting for the next move. Teldris is basically your guys's, I don't know, he's basically at your will here. He's, I mean, you guys remember he did tell you about the importance that he thought of the rocks, Tor rocks, right?
What?
Last session, you remember the importance of what Teldris was telling Life and the importance of Tor rocks, and that he thought that he held part of a key to like helping and solving what some of this shit was going on.
From my understanding, Tor Rocks is supporting like the shifters or changers or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Animorphs.
Animorphs, yep. Against Herod. So
is that book series?
Yes.
Oh my
Is
god.
that really terrible?
I
TV show?
remember it. What is it? Was it that dude in the water? One of the book covers that I'll never forget. Anyway,
Yeah.
now that you said that, that's all I can imagine in my brain.
Yeah, it
like
just
Seal
hit
Boy.
me. It just
Seal
hit me.
Boy.
yeah.
Did you write it down? Fuck this.
Are you still working on it?
I have some.
All right, while you guys are doing this, you notice that around the camp, things are still building and growing. Things are being brought up from the other cavern systems, and the flybys, for the most part, are getting settled in.
Mm-hmm.
You guys kind of hang out while he writes this down for about another 30-40 minutes. You guys start gathering to...
Make more beer.
Okay, so you gather yourself some more beer. You guys start gathering yourself and your things, getting ready to leave, and hope that whatever fuck this writes works.
Well, all right. Oh. Yeah, we got two possibilities. This would be the most simple, easiest one. Teleport 6 physical beings to Inventus.
Yeah, how about that? That sounds simple. It also sounds really dangerous. It also has a possibility of not working because most of the things you've written have been like a tangible
Yeah, that's
thing.
Yes. Yeah.
You've never written fireball
That's what I was talking about.
and like an effect happened. No, it's always been like, give me a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And it
Boom,
gives
So
here's
that
the
I
thing.
also wrote Wand of Teleportation with 10 charges.
Okay.
He's like, see, that's why I had a
That's
number
pretty
2.
risky. That's asking for a lot. How about like
It's a
2
very-
charges?
What?
I mean,
I'm gonna
a
roll.
normal wand would
The
just
power
transfer
of the
one.
spell will take effect, and he'll tell me how many.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Hey,
Actually,
do
I
it how
probably
you
would use
want.
that.
Do it how you want.
Go for
Write
it.
what you
I like
want.
the second one a lot more than the first one.
I do as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think like some kind of teleportation object.
Take out an actual sheet.
Yeah.
Wand of
Guidance
Teleportation.
All
With
Have
10
that.
charges.
He's been guided.
right, you've
one
been
die.
guidance, yes.
Anything else we can
Wand of
do?
Teleportation.
Life looks up and just kind of
Enhance
waves his
abilities.
hands. You write it
Enhance
using your
ability
quill.
charisma.
Yeah.
Okay, you use it all. So you notice one of the little feathers and kind of splinters and falls off for a...
Yeah.
I don't know
Alright.
if he has enhanced ability prepared.
I mean, who knows what he has prepared? We just took a long rest.
He does today.
Yeah, I was gonna say usually
Yeah,
he
your
does.
enhanced ability. What does it do?
It gives advantage on
Your advantage in your
performance
guidance.
check. Yeah, charisma
Oh,
checks.
Wait,
So
can
you
you
do a
guidance?
performance check.
Is
He
can't do both of those.
he cannot guidance. He can do one or the other. You're correct. Damn. And I don't.
I prefer the
enhanced
advantage.
ability. I don't have
What's
advanced
the roll?
prepared.
This would be performance plus your
proficient?
proficiency.
Which would be like
And
what?
then I
3 or
add
4?
advantage.
Yes.
Mhm, Yes.
Okay, so I'm plus 7 at advantage. First one is a 17. 17, so 24.
All right, now for this one, roll me a D100.
Here comes death.
I have one. Should I just use a D10? Or a D10?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So as you write this, you take a few moments and sitting around the campfire, still in somewhat of the darkness with the clouds, you know, kind of burrowing in over this huge peak structure, you take a moment, maybe 30 seconds, and very eloquently write. And as you do so, you wait a moment, you take a few seconds, as you've done this a few times, and as you write it down, the rest of you kind of sitting around waiting, you see this parchment start folding in. And then in a moment, you see it almost like shaping into like an origami piece. This small little scepter with this, what looks like gemmed like crest at the very top of it. You wait, very small in your hand. A couple seconds go by, and poof, you see this enlargement almost of this item. Just kind of structuralize in your hand. Very frail it seems at first, and then after a few moments seem to like solidify in this like heavy weighted brass item. And at the top you see this almost darkish blued hued gem. It doesn't seem to be anything other than maybe ornate. You touch it.
It's just a gem, not
The gem, right. Just seems to be some ornate, just basic gem. Yeah, sapphire would be the closest way to. As you look at it, you notice on it, it has these runics, these markings. And as you look closer, you notice these to be very similar to the ones that Percy had in his cave beneath his shop. And as you kind of look in, you see that there are many of these runic, like little crests that kind of go right at the base of where this sapphire like inlays into this little scepter. And the whole thing, maybe 6 inches in total. It kind of just now rests in your hand. And as you like grip it, you realize that the like palm of it kind of switches at the very hilt at the bottom, and it kind of like rotates as you kind of now have it in your hand. It seems that's the activation. And then pushing in the bottom would be what would deactivate it. So if you were to teleport, oh, you rolled an 88, so hang on. You get 4 charges. So as you look at this, you notice that it has these 4 little hinges at the bottom that almost like swing, like little tiny chandeliers almost. One little like chain spoke hanging in brass. So as you use these, it'll just expend one of those chains, and then that'll recharge daily.
Did you say fucking?
Mm-hmm.
Dope.
It's what the 88 was for. I was like,
This boy just solved all of our fucking.
I was like, well,
That was the worst part of the entire.
I could potentially get 4 charges.
Oh my god, we've
per
had.
day.
We've had.
Yeah. Oh,
Holy shit!
you saved so much.
So you need to roll a d4 actually right now to see what it starts out with.
So it has 4. It has 4.
Up
charges,
to.
Up to 4.
2. So right now it's got 2. So you can have 2.
Oh my god. Yes. Yes.
Yes, he
Oh my
says.
The
God.
sad part is we've had access to make that
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
terrible.
No, not that long.
long enough.
But in game, like 2 weeks.
Shit, dog.
Or less, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, dude. You might be able to just go back to Audrey just now, which is amazing. Neat. All right.
Oh my god, we can become an anamorph. I can.
Oh my god.
We need to do that.
Yeah.
Is there a dragon anamorph? Because he could become a dragon anamorph. A dragon shift.
Yeah.
The party kind of looks cheerful and joyful as everyone in the cavern kind of looks around, realizing, and people are like, huh, wonder what's going on over there. They seem to go about their business. You guys gather yourselves, still joyous in the fact, yeah.
We're like, yes. We don't have to fly in the storm anymore.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I want to ask Jacobine.
What am I gonna do with this?
Are we still around him?
Yeah, you guys are still there. He comes up after you guys are kind of slapping hands, and he comes up.
It worked.
I'm going to ask him if he recognizes, if he can tell me, like, if he recognizes rooms that are on.
He takes a moment. You show it to him. He takes it. He looks at it. I don't say that I do. Markings seem to be that of some sort of magic inclination that is beyond me. Take it to the ancient library. I'm sure they could help you. But that is all that I know. Sorry. So, will you be needing the gliders or yeah?
No, I don't believe so. No.
So is this has to be recharged annually or every?
It recharges. So
Yeah.
essentially
Every dawn.
every like full cycle essentially.
Yeah.
You just roll d4 and that's how many charges you get.
Because teleport.
Yeah, Thomas Eldon is
Yes.
Thomas Eldon's a pretty badass dude.
Yeah. Yes. That the sapphire that is in this thing, that's like in there, right? That doesn't pop off.
Yeah, you can pop it off probably if you tried hard enough.
You wanna put the blue gem in there? That one enhances magical ink stuff. Nah, fuck it. We're just gonna keep what we have. I feel like.
Probably
curiosity is like a scientist is gonna be like
stop.
put gem in thing and it's
No, stop.
I mean,
We
now
could
you
make a
told me
week
that.
later.
Yeah.
No, why don't we? Okay. We're pausing all things because we can
Fuck this
teleport
is
now.
like,
We can teleport now.
The last time Aurum
So-
stuck a gem in something, it didn't go well.
I know, I'm
ask
just
for
sitting here and I'm
one.
just like you guys.
We're gonna ask for an infinity gauntlet.
Starts cracking into a
Gems.
multiverse. Yeah. You start breaking a multiverse and
Why don't you just use your paper to just be like red gem?
just start gathering the gems through your paper.
No. What it does is that it didn't make something. It stole that from somewhere.
It's Fairly Odd Parents rules. Okay.
Yeah. So this is somebody's thing,
Well, fuck
but it's
that.
ours now.
Ours now. Oh.
Accio gem.
Yeah. Alright, so what are you guys doing?
Let's not fuck with it. We'll table that.
But we could definitely probably make a wand. We
I
probably
got another one right here.
we could probably make a wand with a
Oh,
better
jeez.
effect that's buffed by the. We could probably make something better for the gem to be
I just finished.
We're good.
utilized.
Let's just move on. I think we're okay for now. But yeah. All right, cool. Okay. I don't think there's anything else we need to do here. I feel like as soon as we leave, I'll remember something we want to do. But we can just come back later. That's fine.
Liam comes up. So are we getting ready to leave? You see, he's got most of his things, and he seems to be getting ready to go over. And as he kind of kneels next to Teldris, he looks down. Is there any chance you'd be interested in learning a craft along our journey, young one? And he kind of reaches out and he gives him what looks like this small hammer. Teldris just kind of looks at him and he's like, no. And just totally cold shoulders him.
By the way, that's like a moonlight lapidary.
As you say that, William's already walking past, kind of saw him about the whole situation. Teldris being somewhat of a teenager, it seems like he's just not caring. He hears you.
Liam, I'll introduce you to some orphans. No longer orphans. Former orphans might be interested.
So, are you guys teleporting?
Aren't they technically still orphans?
They're mine now.
Just because you adopted them doesn't mean their parents aren't dead.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Former
Still,
orphans?
they're still orphans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's semantics. Doesn't matter. I think so, yes. Any other fucking tangents?
Give us a try.
All right.
Where we going?
Yeah, where are you going?
Home. The old homestead.
I wouldn't phrase it home,
No.
because home is ambiguous. Specific places.
Enjoy it.
Problems.
Say Inventus.
Or
imagine
clack your heels together.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, sure, think it. You hold it. You tell people whenever you're ready. And then wherever you're kind of envisioning is where it'll go.
Touch me.
So as you all gather, Teldris standing the farthest from you now.
Yeah. Man of the cloth. Having kids touch it.
You all gather around, you grasping this scepter, you clutch it in your hand. You wait a few moments thinking of your guys' home and where you had played in Inventus and stayed. You take a few moments, and in a few instances, you guys feel yourselves teleported and drifted away. You feel one of the chains kind of vanish as you are quickly just brought through this quick trance and then are dropped in a very quick manner, about 5 feet from your front doorstep. You guys are all just and just dropped. And on the other side, you see your house with the wind howling, with snow piled up. You see just the front door has been cleared out with a pathway to be walking in and out. The snow about 8 feet on the walls, mounting up with drift, and the snow seems to be just surmounting. You take a look around Inventus, and you see a lot of the inland, where most of the city kind of lays, is actually kind of melted snow, protected. You see that whatever wizards or druids or whoever here was protecting, if you guys remember the first time you came to Inventus, it seems that they are still here active, trying to hold out whatever this storm is, keeping Inventus still somewhat safe. You guys take a few moments and you hear footsteps and clatter on the inside of the home. You wait a moment and then you hear a very common voice of Grendridge. I said, sit the fuck down. I'm tired of you all running around. Sit down. You hear just running. You guys take a few moments. William just looks at you. The hell is this place?
Our home.
He looks at this doorway, not seeing too much other than just snow kind of covering most of the building. He looks up and he sees, you know, this building is still in actually pretty decent stature. It looks as if it's slowly been improved on over the last couple of weeks. You guys take a moment. You hear something, and then the door. And you see Denistine. Oh, I was just getting ready to go shovel part of the drive. When the hell did you all get here? I didn't even hear you.
No. Yeah. Just showed up.
Well, why don't you just come on in?
I would hope so, yeah.
They turn. He waits a moment. Is Gildre really not among all of you? Takes a moment, he looks.
Life's got his books.
There's a tombstone that we made that sits out back. The snow covers it now, but I shovel it every time I do the drive.
I would hold off on the tombstone. There's a chance he's not dead.
He just kind of waits a minute with his hand still on the doorknob. You see a shovel now in his other hand. And then he just holds off on even asking. I'm not even going to bring that up right now.
Oh, I'm Magnus.
And who are the rest of these individuals?
This is Liam.
He kind of puts his hand up. Nice to meet you.
Pug's brother. Moonlight Lapidary.
At that, Denistine's.
Take those out of the table.
Which ones?
You.
I'm gonna eat the whole bag.
And Eldris, former student of Cassandra Volt, worked with Gildre's seasonal gem, helped craft these machines. Pretty gifted student. Possibly the key to fixing
Did you say Life's nephew?
Life's nephew. That's less important in the grand scheme of
Is
things.
Life also still just like disguised self as a human?
He's probably muttering to himself.
We'll say now. We'll say he's as himself.
Yeah.
And as this happens, Denistine just kind of looks. Children will be happy to see you, but they've been quite beaten up about Gildre. Oxford hasn't been himself recently either. With most of the snow, we haven't been gathering too much wood.
Yeah.
He opens the door. You guys see now a couple individuals start running upstairs. You don't catch exactly who they are. And then you see Denistine and Grendridge now kind of meet up in the center of this landing, in the center of where your home is. As you guys enter and you feel the warmth now with the fire that has been growing, you see this fireplace that looks like it's been almost like built into the side, and this chimney that has kind of been made out of the side of the wall. It's warm. They've made improvements. They have food. Things are still kind of being kept together here, though it's just at a glance, it's a little bit in dire straits. It's so cold that it looks like they're all kind of sleeping here. They're not using the entirety of the home. It's probably too big, and with some of the, you know, dropping temperatures, they probably aren't able to sleep in many areas. You guys take a minute, and then as Grendridge kind of steps forward, well, holy shit. He looks right at you and Aurum. Good to see you guys.
Hey.
So, did Gildre at least go down not like a complete pansy? I heard that he, supposedly died. Is that true that a bones fuck like that can really not come back?
We're still on the fence.
We were fighting a dragon.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, doesn't Magnus know Grandridge?
A little bit.
I don't remember.
No of him, maybe?
You would
No,
know
guard
of him
things.
from training.
Guard thing.
Long time ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say your acquaintance with him, but you know of him.
Yeah.
So you guys healthy?
I'm doing fine. Fuck, this is fine. Magnus here's.
I'm a functional alcoholic.
He's wearing a tinfoil hat, if that tells you anything. But
And the rest of these individuals,
I've never been wrong.
you're not wrong. Like, you're not wrong.
Denistine leans in. They're friends. They were waiting out on the doorstep. Grendridge just kind of looks. We didn't hear you come up. How'd you?
We're starting to get
Magic.
moving around. Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Well, magic.
Yeah.
Getting some of my friends killed, so just be careful at what kind of magic you're using around here. But it's good to see you guys. We're about to get ready for some lunch. What do you all say that we sit down and have some? As now you see a couple of the children, they start making their way down. They seem to be getting ready for what looks like a early lunch, as it would be probably quite early in this morning, about 8, 9 a.m. You guys take a few moments, and you see now as most of the children start making their way and they come down, they start greeting you, hugging, though they seem a little bit more mature. You can tell that just by kind of things that have transpired and with you guys being gone, probably more has been asked of them. And if they want things to go the way they need to, they've had to step up. Everybody, though, seems to be here a little bit thinner maybe than you last remember them, but all in good health. You guys see, though, as they all stand there and kind of wait as Oxford stands. So is this storm ever going to stop?
But we're working on it.
Yeah. We're gonna try to.
We've been held up in here for over a week now, and they're telling us it's not getting better. Supposedly there's some sort of ideal march that's going to happen towards the end, but that's all we've heard. They have some weapon, something that can stop it. Will it really work?
What they have, probably. That being said, at this moment in time, we might not want them to do that. We might want to just take care of it ourselves.
Well, let's just enjoy this dinner. We're glad you're home, and let's hope we can figure something out soon so we can go back to the way things were. You guys wait a few moments. Things are being made. A small table's kind of brought out. You guys sit about. You guys kind of reconvene with the rest of your family, kind of take time, catch up on a few stories. You spend the better part of about 2 or 3 hours eating and catching up. And then Denistine and Grendridge kind of stand from the table. They shoo off the rest of the children. They start pouring a few drinks. So, what's the next step? You've come here? Do you need to speak with Gerald? Well, we can help you get down to the walk. The drive's quite, I'd say, thick with most of the snow, but we'll help you get down. And many things have been happening with the storm here. The heart's been showing. Gerald's been waiting for all to have returned, and thinks that he has a way that you all might be able to stop this storm and maybe many others. He says that if this storm is like the other one, and there's a way to get to the heart of it once it's actually manifested, it could help. But if you all think that you have a different way of stopping these storms, you see,
We have to get to the heart regardless.
William kind of steps forward. Any information is good information, so this Gerald, yes, if we could see him, that would be pertinent and timely. If we could do so sooner rather than later. You see Dennisine, he stands. I can take you there now, but it'll take us about 30 minutes of a walk. There's no real way to travel other than walking with all the snow that's surmounted until we get in town. You guys kind of wait a moment. You guys start gathering your things after taking a drink. Is there anything you guys want to do while you guys are still home before you guys start on kind of your
Do you have
next...
any, like,
I'm gonna
extra
reach.
snowshoes?
Into my bag of holding and pull out those 2 pairs of snowshoes
Yeah.
that I have. And give them to Grendridge.
Are you just gonna carry the kid?
Teldris.
Wait, can Teldris wear these dwarf snowshoes I have? These small enough to wear the dwarf
Yeah,
snowshoes?
he could.
The extra pair?
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
I don't
Tell him to keep them, and maybe Oxford can use them.
You see Oxford, and
Enable
he
the
kind of...
snow a little bit.
He kind of, even though he's not there, you hear almost like a noise from the steps, maybe a motion of like an air pump or something, hearing that, you know, maybe they're listening from the tops of the steps.
Yeah.
Grendridge and Dennisine, they take them. Thank you. We'll use them. We'll make sure that they're maintenance and not broken as well. Now, I will tell you that Gerald is a bit radical. He's got a lot of pressure on him, and the Red Council's been pressuring him. And there was a letter sent here about a day ago. It was sent by a messenger to you, Fuctus. It was a paper. And you see on the paper, you see the Chronicle Times of the Alberzine newspaper. And you notice that there's a writing on it. And as you guys take a moment, he kind of sifts through the front page, and you see Grendridge. Yeah, look at this. And he kind of hits the front of the page. And as you take a moment and start reading, all of your eyes, as you see just a normal, you know, multitude of paragraphs and what looks like the normal front page of almost any newspaper, it all kind of sifts around and the words kind of fall off the page. And you see this huge page forms into this parchment. And on it, you see basically what was kind of put, that the Red Council is basically a facade and that it's a phony. You notice that it's been brought right on the front page, and there was even evidence and some inscriptions that were brought and put from the letters and the things that you guys had brought to Thomas Eldon. You see also next to it a note. You pick up the note as it's given to you by Grendridge. This was with the piece of paper that was delivered with it. On it, you see a large stamp, and you see the Red Council, a symbol. In it, you see what looks like a red waxed seal that has been crested with what looks like 5 markings of what looks like a flamed emblem. As you see it, it's been broken. Grendridge looks at you. I didn't know when you'd get back, and I wanted to know what it was, so I took the fucking pleasure, man, but it's not good. You might not want to read it. If you want, I can just tell you.
Just tell me.
Whoever your friend was that was associated with that paper Both of his ears are in that envelope. He said that if he's not gonna listen to the threats that were made, maybe you all will. There's fucking ears in there. Thomas, somebody, they took his fucking ears off. They said that he might still be alive by the time you get these. And he said that he won't listen, but maybe you will now. And it's addressed to you. So whatever you guys have been doing, they fucking know.
Working.
Well, something is.
Yeah.
But that means that they're starting to catch on to who the fuck we are and what we're at least doing.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. They've known.
Well, we haven't, damn it. I don't just get ears showing up on my doorstep since you've been gone. We've been here making it for the past couple of weeks. I wasn't quite sure if you all were alive until we just heard from you the other day. And then I heard Gildre's dead. Now yours are showing up. They're gonna close in sooner or later, and they're not just gonna start sending ears. They're gonna start sending family members or body parts from you all back. And then what happens when they
Joke's
show
on
up
them.
here?
I'm an orphan. Fuck this doesn't know who his parents are, and we killed your mom.
We have a.
We, as in previous party members, not making a specific.
To be fair, Fuckdus has a pretty good idea of where his dad is.
Yeah, but he's an evil dragonborn
Or at the very
warlord.
least, why Fuckdus is his son.
I don't think the Red Council's or he's working.
Or they're taking his fingers like, thanks.
Yeah.
That's gonna slow down his raiding teams, killing all those people in the countryside. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll be able to help Thomas, but it's a great sacrifice.
I mean, it seems like he knew what he was getting himself into.
We did. Yeah.
Well, then maybe we should make sure that whatever the hell we're doing, we need to follow up and make sure we finish whatever's going on here. So, you see Dennis lean in. Is there any good information that we found on what the Red Councils truly do?
All of it's in that paper you're looking at, right there. Because that's we gave the information to the paper.
He takes a few moments. He goes through. I didn't really understand that it's going to be a fight for the regions. Is that how it's meant to be? You're telling me that there's no one that we can speak to?
So,
We...
I mean, I can name one guy, but it's a real Hail Mary.
Who?
Poor Rocks.
Oh yeah,
And what would we
Papa
tell him?
Rocks.
How do... Say we get there into the elf region and we do so alive.
Yeah.
And if we do so and we do
Then we
seek
gotta
this...
then we gotta fucking somehow get involved with some inter-family political bullshit.
Yeah.
That has to do with like the Rocks guy.
And an individual
Man.
that maybe no one has spoken to in who knows how long. And tell him exactly what to sway him. That we know that this is going on and that if they don't help, shit's
It's
doomed.
more of an inform, because I think Papa Rocks doesn't know exactly what.
In fact, we don't even have to meet him. We just need to know what he vaguely looks like, and we can just use message to ask him a question.
Well, we have tons of images of what it could look like.
Essentially, we have acquired some knowledge regarding Tor Rocks in that he warned Albrecht Otto of joining the Red Council. Told him to keep his nose clean, essentially. Stay out of it. Shit's bad.
Well, that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh, and that
Directly
letter
to him.
looked more authentic than the other letter.
From
we
my
found.
understanding, he might have sent it straight to Albrecht Otto, but his dad may have intercepted it. Now, Otto's dad.
You see Dennis kind of looks there. I remember that man.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that he spoke of his father, and he warned him. And he didn't take the warning.
No, the father got the warning and didn't tell the kid about it at all.
I believe.
But why wouldn't he tell his son?
He was a Red Council fanboy. He was in the Red Council's pocket.
Right, but now... I know that man, he changed. He wanted to do what was best for his boy, so knowing he's almost selling out his son, possibly...
Oh, he knows now. I don't know what
You
he's
didn't
doing now.
know at the time.
This was not even legal.
This is before we talked.
So is he useful to us now?
Yeah.
Can this robo help us?
I don't know what power he has.
I don't know how useful he is in any situation at all, actually.
I think
He doesn't have power. His son does.
Yeah.
Then where's his son? Right now.
I assumed in the media at this meeting.
Probably on his knees in front of a Red Council member.
Well, why don't we go kill him?
I'd prefer not to. Because he seems
If we're
to be,
gonna do assassination and terrorism, like, why don't we just target the Red Council? Like, why would we target some random schmuck? It's like, oh man, we killed their henchmen.
Isn't that what you just said, that he's from the Red Council?
No. I think you're talking
Nah, it'd be like attacking their fucking secretary.
He's not talking about Rover. He's talking about Otto.
We're not
I'm talking-
exactly
His son.
I'm talking about his son.
Yes.
He's not on the Red Council.
We're not.
He's
like
He's in a-
Sounds like he's soon to be.
yeah. He's
he's
shooing.
still-
He's
a
being
bitch.
influenced to win the election, it sounds like. And if you're telling me he's next in line, off with the next in line.
He could just be a puppet.
Yeah.
He probably is, but
Yeah, why? That's my point. Why
then
attack
it
the
buys
puppet?
us another 2 years. They makes them form a new representative. Then maybe someone else wins the election.
Or we could just brutally murder the puppet master and other members of the Red Council. Why spend all this time plotting to kill a puppet?
So how do we get the 4 council members, or whatever of them are left, or whoever's controlling them?
Yeah, that dragon week was.
Yeah. That was pretty bleak. That was Jan. She's dead.
So then we need to go about this by either drawing them out or going right after
Well,
them.
They probably are going to escort that conflux weapon to deal with the storm.
Yeah.
And that would be outside in the storm.
Oh, I don't know if the Red Council is going to escort it.
Then maybe we'll send a member, though.
That whole
Yeah, at least one of them.
Somebody.
Because
They
the Red
won't
Council
send...
aren't only known
You're
for
telling
being
me-
leaders, they're known for being super powerful.
Well, how important is this weapon? You say it needs to stop the storm. And Denison leans forward. And we know that they need to look good for the people during the elections, so they need to make sure that this goes off without a hitch. If they can't stop the storm, then what power do they hold over the people, showing that they can keep the people safe? They
And
can't.
what would be the best place to kill them? In a town, or in the middle of the wilderness in a storm?
I also, I mean, if we're just talking straight up political assassination, which is fine. I'm not. Don't get me wrong.
We literally
Already done it once.
terrorism.
Already done it once.
Like,
I would
couple
prefer to
days
do
ago.
one at a time. I don't want to be. If all of them are going to be there, I don't. Just one of them killed one of my friends.
I don't think they would be dumb enough to all. If even any of them.
That's also a good
No,
point.
it's definitely gonna be
in
one.
the capital.
There's gonna be one of them. One or two at max.
With our luck, it'll be.
He's not even a Red Council member.
There's probably another blood.
You're
boy.
talking about Trickster? Yeah, he's not even a Red Council member. Leodore, fucking, where the bitch?
What happened to that guy that had another green gem?
Trirene
Outdoor
Hollander,
Trixus. That's who he's talking about.
Lithis Lex, and Leodore Albrin are 3 Red Council members that we know of, and then Albric Otto is a council elect, essentially, and then the 5th seat, Janice Strigley, dead.
Shit, there's probably a good chance there's gonna be a Red Council member and what's his name, the elect.
Trixus
Trixus.
or
Well,
Otto.
Trixus is working
I mean, I would
directly for them.
I would love to kill Trixus.
Trixus might be one of the ones that could be helping transport it.
That, and we'd also get our hands on a complex weapon.
Now, wait.
Which
Wait.
is a backup to handle the
What
storm.
if we give them a reason to make sure that somebody's there with the weapon? What if we tell them that maybe the weapon's going to be stolen or tipped off or something? That way, they send someone with it, ensuring it.
We make a bomb.
Something. Maybe make them think, well, we gotta make, somebody important go with this, somebody powerful to make sure this does go off. Maybe not, maybe this Trixus you speak of, maybe a council member, maybe not the council-elect, but, maybe someone who's been on the council for a few years,
It's not gonna be the headmaster, I can tell you that.
It probably won't be the headmaster, but,
What do you know about Hollander?
I know that the small one, I think, would you say Lithis Lex?
Yeah, there's Lithis Lex, or Lex. Yeah, Lithis
The
Lex.
halfling, I think?
Is a male halfling, and Shireen Hollander,
Yeah.
female human.
He'd probably be next on the, I'd say pecking order. He'd probably be one of the ones they'd maybe send out next.
What does he do?
I don't know what really any of them do besides
Full strings.
Politicians.
politicians. Oh, they
Didn't gain prominence before politics.
they did. Most of them at some point were further in the guard, but
Also, a tip-off would mean
we weren't.
a lot harder.
I wouldn't say he's a formidable soldier or warrior,
Mhm.
but neither was Janice Trigley.
Mhm.
And you're telling me she took one of your friends' lives in Gildre, who I know to be very
that's
strong.
because she was a dragon.
Exactly. So, are they all dragons, or was it just her? We don't know this. So I'm saying,
Well, the red gem is what turned her into a dragon, and all of them have
Yeah.
been known to carry one since ever.
I was gonna say the currently the
So, yes.
Warlord do not like the council because they told them to fuck off. They denied access to Albertine.
Get the 50 of them. It's a trap.
That is distinctly it's a plan of action. I don't hate
That's
it.
their homeland. That's currently
Yeah.
where they reside.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna need to take any. We don't need to take anybody. There's already newly awakened Warforged in the storm,
Yeah.
attacking anybody approaching.
I'm just saying,
We don't need to do
if we
anything.
tip them off, they're gonna have.
yeah, but are we going to
Makes it
try
harder.
and intervene them before we have them reach Landen, or are we wishing to have a confrontation in Landen?
We're third partying them.
In
That's what I
Landen.
thought we were doing.
Well, we need to make sure we all understand, because if we wait till they're in Landen, we risk fighting in the storm.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Also, with these Warforged that
We're
we don't
gonna be
know what they're
fighting the
going to
storm
do.
Anyway.
Yeah.
The most vulnerable they will be is when they're fighting the Warforged in the storm.
But what if we
to
get
the
some of the Warforged that he's saying?
Yeah.
Then we can fight maybe other Warforges that we may run against, or any of these other.
We could pinch them.
Oh,
We're already pinching them.
Unless
With
There's
four,
us.
there's four of us.
There's us
Pitching up with what?
and the elemental Warforged in the storm.
How many individuals are they sending?
Right. So I'm saying, if we tip them off, they're gonna have reinforcements.
Yeah, well, they're not going to send
We don't know
four.
how many though.
They'll probably send at least, what, a brigade? Maybe 15, 20. And if they send 15, 20, can four of you take
So
on
we
15,
have
20
our-
with a council
Our
member?
own Warforged battalion.
or I'm just gonna start pacing. Start thinking.
Orm's like, man, that lunch is hitting me. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna
We
get
have
more
the
meat.
ability to make bombs. We don't need to have a direct confrontation. It's not like, oh man, they're gonna start fighting these elemental Warforged, and we're just gonna come up and be like, behold, we are here to fight you. Like, what? Nah, we're gonna fucking fuck them up with shady bullshit backstabby tactics. Like, what the fuck are you thinking?
I was thinking like,
You gonna go walk up to him and challenge him to a duel?
I was thinking like Helm's Deep, coming in with the Ghost Army from the side.
I get what he's saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like they're already gonna be fighting, and we just come in and
That's risking so many lives, including ours. Like, why wouldn't we just bomb them or fucking, I don't know, anything else? Like, we could set a trap. there's way better options than like fucking getting the homie brigade from the fucking Warforged that you guys slighted.
I'm a warrior.
They hate us.
I used to fight.
We fucked them. Do you not remember that?
What if the bombs
We
don't
promised
work?
them shelter,
Mine
and
is.
then we fucked off.
But what if the bombs don't work on these Warforged? Oh,
I don't give a fuck.
well, what if they
if
don't
the
work on these
Warforged
dragons?
Lives. I care if the fucking Red Council member that's escorting the goddamn weapon is dead. Like, shit, they can use the Conflux weapon and destroy the gym and stop the storm, and it's hooray! Because the storm's gone. But if, as long as the Red Council member dead. That's the objective. That's the important part. Not the fucking weapon. The weapon's the bait.
Oh, I know.
Like, we don't give a fuck. It's just a plus. The point is that guy dying. And they've been known to turn into dragons, and you want to get, like, some randos
I'm saying
from the town to fight it?
if we tip them off and they have reinforcements, do you think 6 of us can take on whatever party they have? Even if we snuck them off?
Again, because it's not the 6 of us. It's the 6 of us plus the environment and the elemental warforged.
What if they have 20 people?
Good. Then they have to fucking coordinate 20 people, and we just fucking wait for them to fucking slip up and then fucking do whatever. Whether that's attacking
But
or
is your
setting a
whole
bomb.
plan based on these so-called bombs?
It doesn't have to be bombs. It could be anything.
You got balls.
Big fat ones is
Big
what I
fat
hear. He's got a plan that supposedly will take down 15 to 20 individuals. And what if that doesn't work? Even if we kill half of them instantaneously. You told me one individual was strong enough to wipe out almost all 4 of you in a fight.
One, you're thinking that all of them are dragons for some reason.
No,
It's
but
just-
if just one is
Yeah, good.
mustered with 4 or 5 men that we maybe don't all kill out of 20, 6 live.
Because, again, they're not just fighting us. They can't ignore, like, a confrontation with what they're walking into.
But if we start attacking them, who's to say we're also not going to be hitting these Warforged that we're fighting? And then who's to say they don't attack
Because
us?
people aren't gonna, because these people aren't gonna fucking ignore the people next to them beating each other to death to fucking turn around. No, to look up at the bird dropping bombs on them. Like you're acting like we're gonna fucking announce ourselves again.
So you can guarantee these bombs. Where are we getting them from?
From our good old notebook over there.
They're very effective.
And we can guarantee that these will work.
You've seen it work.
Done it once. You do it again.
So the plan is we follow them. We bomb them once they start this attack on the storm.
Yes. And we keep bombing them. That's it.
Well, how many bombs do you have? Let's just see.
Currently, none.
Possible 5.
Well, what kind of deal is this, Magnus? You just told me we had bombs, and now I ask him, and he says none.
We have potential bombs.
This
So,
Thomas Eldon gave me some magic, parchment paper, and a quill. Imbued with his magic and my magic combined, I can summon things that I.
okay.
And these bombs, I summoned them. They worked.
Before.
Yes.
Oh, and we're also not using them on, like, you know, fucking vampires this time. These are just people.
I can even change the element of the bomb.
Well, then let's see how many we have. Let's make some and make sure that we have some before we go further into this plan.
We can discuss that. I think we still need to go talk to Strong.
I would at some point like to talk to Arlanda. I mean, which would require us getting back to Albertine. I mean, it's only been a couple days since we talked to Percy. With him.
Gee,
You know, everything's still.
Yeah. That was where he was last
So
time.
where we left him?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, first
We left him.
No, that's the tour guy.
That's Terry.
Terry.
He was elected person.
Oh yeah.
he fucked off. Yeah, I mean, he's in Albertine somewhere.
All right, so what? You guys want to...
We were getting ready to go talk to Strom's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys gather yourselves.
Oh, what you mean? Planning the fucking ambush?
You guys go out. Denison and Grandridge both gather their things, and here, give me that. And as they are walking out, you see them. They start plowing out part of the exit way down the drive. It takes about a good 30-35 minutes, but you guys make your way back to the center of Inventus, where it begins to, I'd say, for the most part, the snow becomes very scarce. You can see that the druids and a bunch of the mages in the area keeping whatever this arcane bubble aloft, still keeping most of the storm out. You guys make your way into the center of town where you see Strom's building. You guys make your way up. You guys make a few knocks. A guard comes out, greets you, opens the door. You guys immediately are brought in, and you see Strom himself there, very frazzled, very tired, huge sunken in, like big black circles below his eyes. He looks up. Oh, I'm so happy you guys have arrived. Did you get my message about the storm? And he gets up and he starts walking around his desk. It's showing the center. It's hot. It's at its strongest, but also its weakest point. I'm not quite sure, but I think it has something to do with these alignments. And he immediately has about 20 or 30 papers that he just starts shuffling through. You guys take a few moments and you look at him, and he kind of, oh, I'm sorry, I know you just got here, but how have you been?
Hello, I'm Magnus. Drinking.
Yes, are you here to help with the storm, though?
Yes.
Are we talking about the storm here in Inventus, or are we talking about
Well, the storm, but the storm here, it's showing its heart.
Is it?
It is.
What, the one next to Inventus is?
Yeah.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, and most of them were closed upon the forming of the one on Land End. They've become strong.
What? I don't know if that was. I don't know if that was ass or mouth. I hope it was mouth, because goddamn.
Is that a cry for help? Yeah, all right in there. Fuck this.
Sounds like rock.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Oh, don't even. Oh god. Anyway, oh jeez. Now I can't get that out of my mind. You good in there, Jake?
Yeah.
Is there an elephant in there?
Oh fuck. Shit. I was wondering if you heard that. Yeah. Yeah.
We all.
Shit.
I thought I had to go, but it was just like big old
Big old echo chamber fart.
So I wasn't worried. I was surprised. Went,
No,
That's what it sounded like.
Oh god. Oh shit. Oh wow. You're feeling better than fuck this, eh? Oh god.
what do we have for lunch?
For what?
Yeah, what do we have?
Just assortments of cheese and potatoes, basically. The
potatoes are still doing good?
yeah, they are.
Must have been that cheese,
Oh
man.
god. Whew. It was something.
Damn.
So, you've all had good trips and journeys recently, yeah?
Yeah, I got tattoos. It was dope. Yeah.
Have you seen any of the other storms in your adventures?
We met some of the storm chasers. Got a cool bandana.
Okay.
We got to ride on their fancy Fancy bikes.
They were instated quite a while ago. Good individuals. Good bunch. Good bunch. Oh, I've heard that leader is possibly doing some untidy things. He's up for election. Yeah.
He's up for election?
Yeah, next year, reinstatement over the whole, I'd say, group of the Storm Chasers, and whether or not he'll still be that leader, that's up for debate, but,
From what I've heard, he's in the right pocket. Yeah.
So, what makes you come and see me? I've been waiting, and though I have many things I could ask of you, I can wait.
The fact that this storm here in Inventus is like opening up is
Yes.
worrisome.
Make sure you clean the bathroom. Yes, we all heard it, yes.
We are actually preparing to journey.
Oh god, I can't get it. You just hear, oh my god! Is there a snail in the trough?
God damn, is still alive? Christ! Jesus. You need to get checked out. Like a colonoscopy or something.
What the hell is that?
What has the dragon bone been eating?
Doctor?
Yeah.
I'm not that kind of guy.
No. We actually preparing a journey towards the storm, the big one. And we're looking for some pointers or help.
You're crazy.
Yeah. You knew that. We walked into town and killed a bunch of air elementals.
The meeting that Amelia just had supposedly came up with what they believed to be an answer for it.
Yeah.
Well, they're heading out there in about 2 days, I was told. And they are going to, well, who's this individual?
Magnus.
Yeah, I know that, but who do you work for? Are you part of their
Percy.
group? You work for Percy? Do you really?
Yes.
Well,
He's been with us since the storm started.
okay.
Some beer.
No. I want some sleep.
Me.
Well, I know that they're heading out with a couple of individuals. There was a member at the meeting who I'd never seen before. He walked down and he sat in a very perched, I'd say, ledge that we've never seen before in the council room in Amelia. The room itself is almost 4 stories in height. This is where we discuss and speak of many big diplomatic and political matters. And during our meeting the other night, when Durdell Hert, when he entered, we noticed that a perched seat almost on the 3rd, almost 4th story balcony opened up from amidst the wall, and a silhouetted figure wearing some sort of mask that blocked his face was watching. I'd never seen this individual before. The Red Council didn't address him, though I thought it very odd for this individual to be looking in on such a manner that only 20 or so of us were sitting in on. After the meeting was done, it closed. We never saw who the individual was, we never heard a voice. But I swear it was a faint reddish-orange robe that was worn by that individual.
Red orange, did that mean anything? No Hager.
The old man who visited now and aided in constructing the gate to the abyss wore a red robe. He that is the individual that pulled out the shadow from the shadow memory of Telgus.
That's important.
Yup.
So you've heard of him?
Didn't he
Or her?
offer us something?
The guy in the red robe.
Didn't
We haven't met him.
Sure.
Hmm.
Haven't met him.
You met Outer Trixus. You met Albrin,
Yeah.
Leodor.
I thought there was an old guy we met in Canada.
There's Liam and there's Strix.
Strix was the guy who was working with Liam.
Yeah.
I thought we got approached by
That was Strix. He wasn't old though, not super old. That was the guy that stood out in the beginning that led you to that tavern that then led you to Liam.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you guys kind of sit here and you guys say this, Teldris, who is still with life, he kind of hears this. Why would the red-robed man, if that's who it is, why would he care about what's happening in this meeting? And why would he have his own secret place to view the meeting?
We know that the Red Council is not the top of the pyramid. The Red Council serves an individual. We think.
Gerald kind of, you say that out loud?
Yeah.
He kind of shifts. Yeah, but that's just...
And that individual has been rumored. Not rumored. I at least thought it was the guy who was wiping. No. He
Well, there's-
just wiped his mind.
Supposedly, a long time ago, there was a building that was constructed above in a media, and it sits above, high in the sky, that we've never really seen an individual enter or leave. We thought so. It was constructed in this almost stone-like, darkened structure, but we never thought anything of it.
Wait a minute. Oh no. That Red Robe guy is like probably the avatar of the Fire Lord.
I was thinking it was.
No.
I was thinking
Yeah, the shadow memory thing.
I don't
is a
know.
big tell.
I don't know. He was actively looking for shards of the Fire Lord. He said he was in charge of Cassandra.
William sits forward as you say, Firelord. Where did you hear that name?
Picking up my notes.
Yeah, the Cassandra Volt attempted to summon.
Yeah, but
And didn't it tell you it was the Fire Lord?
No, somebody said it.
No.
Somebody said it. Somebody we came upon. I believe too. I was.
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't it Grandrich?
in possession of.
Who had the Fire Lord brand on him? We helped. Wasn't that Grandrich?
Did he have a brand? I
yeah,
know
yeah.
Grendrich worked for Volt.
Volt.
And Volt. Was
Yeah,
attempting to summon-
and Grandrich had a Fire Lord brand that we had to kill Cassandra to get rid of.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he even said when you very first met Grandridge that he made a pact that he was trying to get out of.
Yes.
So that's direct connection to the Fire Lord.
And you also know, technically, not trying to like play into that, but you know that Grandridge worked with the people who made the underground,
Mhm.
quote unquote, construction layers in the cities. So as you
And
say
the Red
this,
Council and the Red Council has red gems, and the red gems have been linked to the Fire Lord. So the Red Council's answering to the Fire Lord.
I don't believe that the red gem is the Fire Lord. I could be wrong. But
William kind of sits.
from my understanding, the red gem was a member of the Party of Deverance.
Yeah, but maybe the Red Gem has some sort of way to speak to this Fire Lord.
Probably the.
When you said you had this
Purple.
gem, what gem was it?
It was the gem that Cassandra had that gave her immense strength at one time, which gave me my
What-
immense strength.
What was the color?
Red. and it was corrupted by a purple, which could.
You guys talk for a moment and you see him kind of rifling through his bag. He takes a moment and then he pulls out like a stack of papers. I think I've heard of a gem like this.
Fun.
He goes through. He waits a few more moments. You see Gerald, he goes back. So, you all have found that maybe this individual who was at this meeting and who sits high in the media could possibly be the same one.
Or
And you think that this could either be the Fire Lord or the person in charge of speaking with this individual, or at least leading the Red Council.
possible,
Yeah.
but we don't know for sure.
I firmly believe that there is a singular individual pulling a lot of strings throughout the cloud.
And at that moment, you
And
see
considering that, like, beings that are usually sealed in, like, ancient, powerful gems aren't usually, you know, some random jackass.
William
usually,
just
like,
kind of yells
busy in
from the
some way.
back, I see it right here. See? This is what Pug and I were taught a long time ago. There is a gem. It's in existence, but only spoken of to be able to have been worked on during a full blackout within the night.
What do you mean? We're done?
Well, that gem, the only way it was crafted was most likely, if I were going by what this references, would be a winter solstice.
Wait, didn't your character, were you playing when we found the red gem?
And if that's right, the winter
He
solstice.
wouldn't have notes on what we found in the cavern. Maybe
Mm-mm.
with Kodo.
Mm-hmm.
He's wherever the fuck he ended up.
I don't know.
Fuck. That information's useful.
And if that makes sense, the only time that happens is at the end of the year when the elections start. That's what we base our year end and year start on. Do you know what many groups call that?
Call the gem or call the
That specific day?
What, the
Does
black, like,
Aurum know
a
that?
blackest
Election-
night? What, like an
election
eclipse? New moon? Like what?
It's called the all-consuming night. Do you know what that relates to?
I'm assuming the winter solstice?
He flips through.
Death?
We need to get to the ancient library in Amedia.
media?
In Amedia. There's one in Hexwell that is located in Albazine. It's not quite as big. We could possibly go there. I'm not quite sure if anything is located there, though.
Back to the main point, though.
But
These
wait,
gym shit is problem for not giant storm.
he just turns the page and he looks. If that gem exists, and you're saying you've touched it, then that means it's been crafted. And if you've seen it, then it's been uncovered. And you're saying someone has it. If they have it,
Specifically the guy who...
and if they try and work on this during that night, do you know what I think the Fire Lord refers to?
Probably a being that lords over
High
fire.
consumption of fire.
I think not only that,
Knowledge Draconius.
but there's, among these cloud tops, draconic deities. Many of them from pantheons that have been worshipped, Bahamut and many. But one that isn't. At least, not so much anymore. Goes by the cleansing of worlds. Do you know what I'm starting to think?
Oh, so you're saying this Fire Lord that you're talking about is like the World Eater? Like,
Well, think of the scorched earth that you said was found beneath on the surface that isn't causing fruit and vegetation to grow. You're saying that you found this and that this magic is formed on this black, of all colors, stone, referred to as the Fire Lord. You told me you smelled embers at one point when you saw that fragment. That seems very suspicious to things being burned on the surface, a Fire Lord, and this Red Council seeking out this red gem that they now have and can work on in about a couple weeks' time.
Multiple region conspiracy, like control.
And now you're telling me that someone is above that, using possibly this gem and possibly other ones?
Yeah, shit's bad.
Yeah.
And you're saying they have the ability to turn into a dragon?
Yeah, maybe. One of them did.
Brendridge kind of steps forward.
Logically, most likely all of them can.
Yes.
They've all been documented to have.
I think I know what he's talking about. Yeah, there was writings. Brendridge kind of sits back. When they started constructing those caverns down below, we thought they were constructing things of maybe Bahamut. But now you're telling me there's another draconic deity that...
Wait a minute. When we went to that prison, when we went to that dragon section, did we like take anything from that? Because there was like stuff on the walls about, and the whole part of that prison was hotter.
It was?
Yeah, by a significant amount. Considering, you know, fucking freezing in Hexwell.
For some reason, I'm remembering something about Tiamat.
I mean, just speaking of Tiamat and the evil draconics like that in a room, could it have been a sacrificial spot?
We were leaving Dragonborn to starve to death in the cells in that area. It does sound like a sacrifice. Which means
So,
way more people are involved in this shit than we thought.
so what if this Fire Lord isn't maybe a person, but maybe the actual deity that they're seeking out? Maybe whoever is trying to truly find this Fire Lord,
Is like the high priest of his religion.
or the person that sits apart and that was up at the town council meeting that they had in the media the other day trying to figure out what happened. You see Granger kind of just sits back. God damn it. So we're working for someone that is on the inside, possibly controlling the Red Council for something that they don't even know what they're looking for. Is that what you're trying to get at, Liam?
No,
Liam just sits here. I don't think so.
I think the Red Council's in on it. They've had the Red Gem in their possession much too long
Yes,
to not be in on it.
exactly.
Or if they're not in on it, they've been controlled by this gem.
Oh, they've had their memories
this
taken out,
the
though.
whole time.
Well, they've had their memories just taken, like you said, fragmented out like Teldris. And that's when Teldris just kind of sits up and says, if they could do it to me, then they did it to them.
Wait a minute. The Red Council has like always been known to be like talented mages, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like that doesn't mean they're strong.
Right.
And that just means they're smart. But like that doesn't stop mind control or dominations at all. And this guy that wiped Teldris's memory has been shown specifically to be super powerful in mind magic. So that means this whole time the Red Council could technically be innocent.
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't. I'm just throwing.
One way or another,
things
they're
out
all
here
in
for
on
my
it.
brain.
They're all in on it, and they've been doing it for quite a long time.
No, that's my point. The whole Red Council isn't the chess master. They're all puppets. They're all pawns.
That They're not.
So then who's this individual controlling them? And how do we get to
Well,
him?
the best way to find out who he is to flip the board and murder all his pieces.
And then he has to come out if he has no more pieces, right?
Pretty much.
Or leave. And honesty, both those are better.
So then how do we start flipping the board? We start taking out this
We start
weapon?
killing the Red Council.
So we find where this weapon's being brought from Amedia to Landen. And we need those bombs now. You see, William, someone needs to go to the ancient library. Someone. Send one person, maybe two.
I need to go to Albertine anyway.
I think we all do, because we probably need to tell one. We need to tell, because where's Alondra and them?
Albertine.
Albertine.
Yeah, Albertine.
Yeah, no, we need to inform them of this because they're smart and their input is nice.
So what then first?
You need to tell Percy.
You see, William, he immediately grabs his stuff. I'm ready to go to Albertine now. Where's my brother? You said he was located.
He's in Amedia, from my understanding.
So let's figure out who this Fire Lord is. That's first on my agenda. That's the only way that I could possibly figure out the ways of these gems and how they are crafted.
The issue, though,
and
is
decraft.
we can't go there yet because our wand of teleportations, we only have another 2 days before they make a move on the storm with the weapon. So, like, the wands are only way.
I just realized it'll recharge by like tomorrow.
Recharge.
Yeah. So I mean, we could
16 hours.
be in Albertine.
Alberzine, wand recharges wherever we need to be. We're good.
So, are we gonna try to construct a way to end this storm?
Gerald kind of stands forward. There's too many things going on. Don't worry about the storm here in Inventus. I'll deal with it.
I'm talking.
That
Well, we have the
storm...
conflux weapon, and I want to get
To be fair,
other pug to
I
Percy because he probably has more stuff to use to build the device we need to fight the storm anyway.
prefer not to use a complex weapon on it.
William
No
just...
shit, no one wants to have to use the conflux weapon.
William, as soon as you say that, he says the only way don't use it is with Teldris's machine and me making a moon gem to imbue this and silence it out. If you use the conflux weapon, it will destroy it. And with that, whatever along with it. And if you think your friend is at all tied to it, it will crush his soul along with it.
But at the same time, even though, I mean, I get you guys like Gildre, and even I, from what I've heard, Gildre is a pretty cool dude. It's Gildre or everyone that lives in Hexwell. I don't know. That's why you.
But what if it's
the
not?
complex weapon isn't the first.
Listen, Magnus, what if it's not, though? What if there was a way to have both?
That's my point. It's not, I'm gonna fucking get the conflux weapon and immediately use it. It's, thank God we have the conflux weapon if whatever we use doesn't fucking work.
I can make you one of those, though. I don't need us to intervene that, Magnus. I can make one with enough conflux and under the right...
would we make one when one's already made and we already plan to attack the fucking people transporting?
Because what if his isn't imbued the same? What if it's not gonna destroy it? What if they want to go over there and when they hit it with that weapon, it doesn't destroy it? What if it creates possibly something? I didn't create that. We already said the only other lapidary that could have created it was either my brother or the one in rocks. Now, my brother's a pretty smart individual, and if you know that he's working with the Red Council and he doesn't want them to gain power of that gem, don't you think he might try and pull some trickery in that weapon?
Again, if this person that we're talking about right now has the ability to mind dominate the Red Council
But we don't know.
for our entire lives,
But we don't know.
I don't think Pug's gonna work willingly or not.
So let's put a blade to each one of their throats and ask them. And if they say, yes, I've been mind controlled, we don't kill them.
Because, you know, that's...
Right.
Go up to
So
mind
then how do
control
we
guy.
stop
I'm gonna
them?
kill him anyway.
So then how do we stop them, Magnus? If you can't do that and that doesn't stop them, how do we stop them? Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not.
So we have to take them out if they're in our way. And it sounds like at least one or two will be in our way.
One, they're being murdered regardless.
Yes, why are we still talking about it?
That's not the debate here. The debate here is if they can mind control the Red Council, Pug's not gonna fucking put traps and things he's making for him because he's also mind controlled.
Good point.
What if he's not? We'll be fine. Okay. So we are heading to Albersy next. I would like to take 10 minutes to look at the storm real quick, and then we can be on our way. Is that right?
No. What?
Is there anything else we need to do here with Gerald? Anything here in
Probably
Inventus?
leave your house with some money for
Yeah, I was
food.
gonna leave some money.
No. Yeah. I mean,
Wife just
I
kind
assumed
of
we were gonna come back
chimes
the
in.
next 2 days.
I'm gonna go look at Gildre's tombstone. I want to at least see if I'm just gonna go see.
Is anybody noticed that he sounded kind of guilty? Okay, we're just gonna move on.
That's just his tone of voice. He's pretty soft-spoken.
Talking to Leo. What do you need and how much time do you need to build this moon? Like,
I need a clear vision to the moon.
Does it need to be like in a specific phase?
Not
We have,
necessarily for this, no.
Okay, good, because we only have like fucking a day.
Some require that, but this one, no. I just need to be able to see it, and I need to be able to under the moonlight, and I need most likely about an hour or two, and I can craft it quite easily. Now, conflux. That's what I'll need. I need maybe a pound or two of it. I can deal with it if it's refined or not.
Question: How good are you good at fighting shit?
there's got to be some conflicts available for explosion.
Kind of.
Then, if we gave you an already finished conflux weapon, could you polish it on the fly?
You give me a complex weapon, I know how to work with the material that I could completely break it down and reassemble it.
Did you not take some conflicts?
I didn't take conflux. If anybody, it was him.
Somebody did.
I've been looking for conflux for
No, we
months.
flew past
You
conflux.
suggested you asked somebody to.
Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah, I asked if Jack P ever finds any in his Barren Void expeditions. That I'd love to purchase some. I don't have conflux, but I have access to a ley line
Where?
underneath our house.
Huh!
Yeah, we never got down there. I wanted to check on my potatoes too while I was down there, but we got kind of sidetracked.
There's a real ley line beneath your home.
Yeah.
I just realized
Yeah.
you guys could probably wire that ley line to heat the house.
I don't know. Sure, maybe. We'll find out.
Gerald just looks, what's the importance of the ley line, Liam? And he just kind of sits back. The ley lines have much power in them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I ain't a fucking wizard, but I.
Yeah.
Not only do they hold magical power, but power from way before the calamity.
Yeah, it's like power from the planet, right?
Yeah.
From Captain
We've
Planet.
just kind of been sitting on it because we can't really do much with it. I don't know how to do anything with it.
If I have a
Magnus,
little
I
bit
don't-
of it,
I
I could probably create something close.
I haven't had the time to do anything with it, so we could head back there at some point.
Because you have to be in the moon, do you have to like craft it outside, or you can do it inside? It just has to be at night.
It has to be in moonlight. If you have an indoor... My forge at home has the roof kind of cut out in a way with glass so the moonlight can shine in.
I mean, I think we have a hole in the side of our basement still.
Outside would work. I just need to craft it in it. The heating and the cooling can take place elsewhere, but the crafting of it needs to take place in the actual
Well, the ley
moonlight.
line's underground.
Yeah, do you need both of those moon and ley line at the same time?
I can just take part of the resource and work with it.
Because some idiot decided to hit it with a pickaxe. So,
You just Sea Life just kind of smirking off in the back, just kind of giggling with it.
So I'm sure there's some ley line rubble that you could just collect and bring with us.
Before we go, I'm gonna go grab some, and he just starts walking out of Gerald's place immediately, and you guys hear the door behind.
No, as soon as this is Leon.
Yeah.
Okay, why not? I am going to pull off a patch that has 2 mastiffs.
Okay. Throw him down.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell them follow and protect that guy.
And you see like Bracken Brown just thrown down 2, about 2.5, 3 feet in height. Yep, thrown down, and they just in a moment as you speak to them, they just start falling as he goes walking out. The door's closed. You guys wait a few moments. Gerald looks. I'm working with the Red Council, so I'm just gonna act like half of the things that I'm hearing here are in good presence, knowing that you are all going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
I can tell you I'll deal with the storm here, but what I was really going to tell you is that if you do get to the heart of the storm, be careful. Though it is clear that's how you are going to have to stop the storm, it's also how you could erupt it. You explode whatever source is powering it from the center, it will just swallow you and engulf you inside of it. You will die.
But will the storm go away?
Yes. We have done small studies and found that with one of the storms...
Like a suicide plan.
Well, one of the storms up in Yorewood, actually, we had an individual do such a thing. It was growing out of control, and it was starting to take over part of the forest. And one of the elders there went and completely put his body around it. Started beating on it, and after about an hour of doing so, it started to crack, and it finally erupted.
I was hoping he like chow suited, just like hugged it with like a bomb.
After doing
I'll
so,
do that.
it just obliterated everything within a 10-mile area. But now there is no storm sight in Yorewood. We notice that the weather effects have lessened, but there's still a storm sight there. A small wind that swirls. We hope it doesn't form another, but it would take a long time.
Well, even that's better than like not doing it.
Right, so at the meeting, we had individuals that were offered
'Cause that'll be
at
huge
doing
for this
that.
problem.
The only problem with that is that we don't know what happens to those people. We don't know where they go. We don't know if they're still alive. So we could be creating some other problem all in itself.
I don't know. You're looking at a guy who put on a wingsuit and flew as a dwarf who likes to live underground. Like, suicidal plans are already like the norm.
I understand. So, as I say,
If anything, I'm just getting excited.
you need to be careful.
You have any protections or
Nothing we've had time to develop.
tips that we could help us?
We've heard that mage armor, imbued with certain types of elements, can help. We're not quite sure how true that is, if it is at all. We know that the storm chasers have been using some sort of wind repellent, though we don't know if it's true or not, or if it's just facade from the north and them just hoping that they have a way of dealing with it.
You know, it could work if we just set ourselves on fire. That'd stop us from freezing to death.
I mean, I do that frequently. Yeah, I do. So, pretty effective.
We can go buy some oil.
But 2 days, that's all I really have. They will travel in 2 days. They'll bring the weapon, and they will try and destroy the storm site.
You know who's like bringing the weapon though?
I don't. I don't even know at what time. I just know that it's already been constructed. And I'm assuming that it will be brought above ground. And possibly even above land. I don't know how they'll caravan it through all the snow, so I would assume they might even fly it in some way. Possibly an airship.
Airship would, from my understanding, airships are held by monopoly. Rocks.
That's just assuming there isn't like private airships.
No, there's not to your note.
My
You
understanding
guys have literally only seen rocks, heard of the private airships. They're stolen rock ships. That's a private airship.
Yeah.
Thank you, Straw. I think it goes without saying that you should not repeat anything. The last 30 minutes.
I will not. And as you see Grundridge and Dennisine just getting ready to kind of mosey out, you see Dennisine, he leans back in. We've worked together for many years. I know that you're not gonna say anything, but if you do, you know we'll kill you. We have the Red Council possibly by the balls. No one needs to fuck this up. Enough people have already died. There are fucking ears sent to our house, Strom. Ears.
Wait, did we tell them about thousands of kids that the Red Council is sacrificing to some fucking vampire, extra-dimensional deity in like another continent?
That's Herrick. That's not the Red Council.
They've been known to collaborate,
Yeah.
and most of the targets they're sacrificing are smuggled from Hexwell.
Strom just leans back. That's a whole fucking other one.
We're just
I'm
making sure.
not,
Yeah.
In case you wanted to know any loyalties to the Red Council, we should inform you of their.
Sounds like the only, I guess, loyalties is to propagate their own power. Strom walks back behind his desk. Good luck in your travels and your adventures. The next time we talk, hopefully, will be when the storm has stopped. And when we can maybe think of how to attack the Red Council and maybe use the storm systems as an advantageous way to help you. As that is the only way I can see myself being helpful towards you. You've helped Inventus. You've helped allow me further my studies, so I'll continue to help you as long as you all I'd say, as long as you all are proving to be true. He motions you all out. You guys take your leave.
How far away is the storm site from here?
About 10 minutes.
Yeah, mile-wise.
I'd say maybe half a mile.
Oh, fuck. Okay. You say next time we'll meet? Or I'm actually gonna go do some stuff or study this storm site real quick, and then I'm gonna be back like.
That's fine. I'll still be here.
Yeah. So.
All right. So you guys go venturing out. You see Life. He's made his way kind of over, and you see what looks like outside of your guys' house. He's kind of digging down to some sort of black small tombstone. The rest of you guys go walking out. You go to the storm site.
Yeah.
The rest of you follow.
Yeah. I just need to be essentially outside of town.
All right. Yep. You're there. You take a couple minutes. You jaunt out. You notice there's only about maybe 10 or 12 people that you guys walk by, even seeing out and about. Many of them being druids and mages, kind of helping with part of the magic that is keeping part of the storm away.
I am going to.
Can we physically see the heart of the storm from here?
You guys start walking as you get to about, I'd say, just on the outer cusp of the city. You see where this storm has basically formed into, imagine a tornado. And where you would directly look in, you see that part of the center has just hollowed out completely. And then very much at the base, it's left almost like this opening that doesn't touch the ground for about 10 feet. And you just see emanating from it this large, almost like cylinder of light that is forming, just shooting up all the way throughout this storm. And you see it just kind of keeping the formation of the storm. And as you guys have gotten closer, maybe 100, 200 feet, you start feeling that there's very little wind pull like there was. Before, when you were standing in it, it almost, just thrashed you around. And now you can see through to the other side. And it looks as if the storm isn't completely touching down. And this cylinder of light is actually whatever the darkness, possibly the sun or something, shining directly through the storm. And it's not a power source or anything, it's actually light. And with the clouds and this storm darkening out everything, this is how high the storm goes, above the clouds, beyond it, and shining light down through the storm. So imagine almost darkness from how cloud and how heavy the storm has made it
a column
of light. Yeah, just being brought down through the storm. And you look at it and you can almost assume that that's what he referred to as the heart of the storm.
I will undo my hair. And I will pull out the blue gem. I won't necessarily do anything. I'll just kind of be holding it. And I will begin to cast Commune with Nature over the course of 10 minutes.
Okay.
I will just almost be
speaking.
Muttering, or I could be meditating. And I want essentially the very winds themselves to tell me if there is any influence from other planes of existence.
No.
If there are any powerful elementals.
Yes.
Okay. Is
You want to kill that elemental?
Is this elemental awake?
Yes.
Active?
Yes.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to use my gun. Elemental slang. Like, I've had it this whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like. Okay. All right.
As you're kind of sitting there, you all see there's about 2 individuals that kind of start approaching from very close to the storm, heavily cloaked. And you see one. What are you all doing near the storm site? It is not safe here.
Oh, he's just looking for a spot to smoke.
Quite windy. Smart ass.
We, friend Aurum and I here, actually. Part of the party who took care of the a few weeks ago.
Well, there are none here.
Well,
Incorrect.
I think he has something else to say. So be cautious.
Who am I going to believe? Random guy who walks up or druid? Random guy. Druid.
I'm telling.
He's like,
Me, Mag, is saying this.
we are actually druids and he's a wizard.
How am I supposed to know that? You're not wearing wood clothes.
We're not, but
Who is he? But I've been around him longer.
we tend to the storm and don't throw any kind of magic in there, please. You
So
look
I can
in.
throw things that aren't magic and
Like arrows.
it's like arrows?
I mean, we don't think that it'll do anything.
He's currently only sensing.
Okay, so you guys wait. They're kind of talking, just trying to see what's essentially going on. You got most of it done, and towards the end of this 10 minutes, as you're sitting here, you start to kind of break your conscience just faintly and turn to start getting ready to maybe go walk and speak to these guards that are approaching. And as you do so, you faintly hear that feminine voice, just as you go to put the gem away, say, "It's there." And then you turn and you look back at the storm one more time and you hear it. "In the storm, it's there."
Another piece of you?
No. Something created that needs to go.
Okay.
Go closer.
Closer. Aurum will noticeably just sigh. He's gonna just put his hands to his forehead. He's gonna rub it a couple times. He's gonna go fuck it. He's gonna start walking towards it.
Now give me a wisdom saving throw.
That's perfectly fine. Oh, I don't know. I'm rolling twice. Boop. Not great. Rolls a 2. Yeah, it's like 8, maybe.
You immediately just start walking towards the center of the storm.
Yep.
You guys seeing these guards kind of standing there, one of them in front of you.
Wait a minute, it's +3.
Hey now. Don't go towards the storm.
It's 11.
Hey, he needed 15.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I actually might make it. Hold on. No, I think that's 14.
14.
14.
Wait,
Damn.
was that a save?
Yeah, that's what we're...
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
My wisdom save is +9. So 2
11
is
plus 3.
11 plus 3.
So then
Yeah.
you guys see him as these two guards are kind of talk. One's with you, one's kind of talking to you. You just see him just start walking.
Gonna kind of, being around him, kind of notice.
Something's,
Oh shit!
yeah.
Here we go again.
the guard is like,
I'm gonna grab my axe and just say it's too late. Be coming.
It's about to your real dog.
they just turn and look at you. What is he doing?
Here's a tinfoil hat. Let's go. Like,
You see Aurum
You've
just
been
kind of
drafted.
walk about 10, 15 feet. You hear one of the others, "You're not supposed to go that close." You get about 80 feet. Now he's about 70 feet from you, and you're watching him start walking, where the winds start getting very strong, to the point where you two almost can't stand easily, and you guys get about 60, 70 feet from the heart, where Aurum easily walks. You see almost like this small, like, sphere of air that kind of blocks him, not impeding his movement, not pushing him, while you two and these other two guards are almost struggling, standing, while you just hear this wind just swirling and billowing around. As you do so, you guys wait and you see Aurum walk slowly. You guys wait, and a guard yelling. Aurum hears none of this. Just see the back of him.
Guards,
Go on.
help us. Can you help us?
One looking at you over the
Can you
wind.
guys travel with
You just
me?
kind of put, "There's no way we can get into there. We're not supposed to be within 100 feet, and once you get that close, it's too much." And the wind just starts pushing. You see one of them go to take another step in, and as you guys watch, you see him just immediately get pulled off the ground. Not even more than 2 or 3 feet further than you've gone, and it seemed there's another power crest within the storm that just, you see him just, and then get taken around. You see the other individual, "We need help." He just starts taking off, running. You two standing there, seeing this wind start billowing all around you. You now, standing as you are, you wait. You guys sit.
I'm gonna take a couple pittons. I'm just gonna like fucking drive them into the ground. I'm just gonna like tie myself and fuck this to the ground.
All right. You bring yourself down, cementing yourself as you can. Watching as
I'm gonna ask
Aurum.
this to like drive them in because he's stronger than me.
All right, so you take part of your axe or your
The
hammer.
hand.
Yeah, okay. You take the hilt and just start beating it down in. You doing as well, trying to get as low to the ground as you can. The wind picking up. You guys watch. Aurum beyond your grasp, about 40 feet. You see Aurum now. You get to about 10 feet within this storm. You see him take another step. And you see his feet start cresting the light that starts shooting down to where the center of the diameter of the storm is. You see his form amongst the darkness start showing as this silhouetted figure next to it, where you finally hear Aurum in your head. There it is. Do you see it? You take a moment and you look and you see up into this storm for the first time, this swirling, huge, very faint, immortal-like figure of this elemental that is just brewing. You barely see it. You can finally see as you look that part of the storm is like part of its appendages. And on the inside, you see as it moves, the storm kind of shapes and forms to it. And it's almost like a smaller version of the storm inside of it. As you look and you see this, you hear the faint voice, "That's the heart. As the light shines down, that's the only way to see it." And you seen almost like dust particles shining on the backlit of like a light, or like the sunlight shining through. You see this like outline of this very faint elemental, maybe 50, 70 feet tall, huge and massive, with large shards of ice and then fire transforming back and forth. It's angry. The one that created it. Its soul burns. Though the storm tries to quell it, it can't. The one who put me away created this. And you see as it just billows on, you wait a moment, and you take one more step into the very precipice of this storm. The air around you seems to just stop. You take a moment, and then the air bubble that seems to be surrounding you, it dissipates. You both watch as the wind just swirls. Aurum leaves your sight, swallowed into the center of the storm. You wait a minute as you see your body starts kind of writhing up into these waves, riding. You hear the voice of Azuna, excuse me. "I will show you just once." You feel it, and for a moment, you're not even quite sure. You look down and you just see bright white. You look up and you just see swirls of wind, and in a minute, it's just calmness. The wind dies down, and it's almost like you're above the clouds, above the storm, and all you see is just flat white. And then the sun, and then the sky and the stars above you. You see this large explosion in the sky, and all this debris start falling down. And then above, you see this cloud formation of this figure. And it forms up, and you see this party of individuals. You hear Azuna's very faint voice. "That was us at one point. The Deliverance." You see these individuals walking, and then you see this large towering figure form. "That was our leader, Rennoc." You wait and you see this huge bursting star, and all this shattering and this debris start coming down, and you see huge figures forming high in the skies along the stars. Pantheons. They fought at a point when the ley lines and the magic ran thickest, and one grew corrupt with the power. As you see Rennoc cast this huge meteor magic from all of the storm that seems to be falling from the debris, this bursting star explodes on these clouds of the Deliverance that was known as the party. They dissipate and they get wiped away. He betrayed us. And on that day, we locked away something great. Something that gave him the power. He created storms. He created the memories that were then lost. You see this large clouded figure of who she refers to as Rennoc. And you see thousands of small cities form in these clouds. You watch him as he walks like a mountain among these small little pebbles. And you see him step on these cities. As he wakes his hand above them, she says, "You washed all memory of it away thousands of years ago." You see new cities. Calamity was what
Less
you
than
believe. Yeah, less than 100.
80 or 90.
70, about 75-ish. You see all these little new cities and civilizations pop up, and you watch as he steps on them. And he keeps stepping on them. He's done this for so long.
Great, we got like a Reaper threat, y'all. That's great.
He washes his hand one more time over the clouds as you see all of these cities and civilizations dissipate. And then you see these 4 pillars come lurching up out of the clouds and forming what you see as you have seen before on your flight, the cloud tops forming in their large pillar formations. And you see him goes from this huge hulking figure, and you see him shrink down into this small pebble and then disappear into the cloud tops. He's still around somewhere, and he controls everything, waiting for his moment to become powerful again. You, swirling among the clouds, feel this emptiness, bottomless from you, drop as you just feel yourself writhe all the way back down this wind torrent, and in a minute are just dropped in the very center of where this storm is. As it does so, you all see him drop and the wind start to dissipate. You notice that the storm for just a minute starts to quell as you feel the gem pulse, and then Azuna's voice completely leaves as once more the storm comes back, and it picks up and it pushes you, starts sliding you from the very center of the epicenter, shooting you right past you guys as you guys kind of catch on to Aurum as he's being brought and almost pushed out, holding onto these pittons into the ground. You feel the wind once again pick up from you, and the wind almost deafening as you guys are all three, both of you, holding on to Aurum. As you guys regain, you guys start pulling out from the center of the storm back to about 100 feet where you guys can stand once again. You guys sit there. You regain part of your strength. Not quite sure what just happened, but it seems as if Azuna wanted to show you something.
I think it needs to go to therapy after we end this party. Like PTSD, the party.
What the hell just happened? You okay?
Yeah.
What? I can't hear you over all this wind.
Stars were beautiful.
Fight the chaos. Are you like yelling this?
He doesn't have to yell it.
No. I'm just like the sense of tranquility.
Oh, that whispering. Damn.
We'll walk and talk. And as we walking back home, is that where we're going? Or are we going?
That's where everybody else is.
And as we walk back to the house, I'll relay that entire kind of like vision quest.
On the way back, as you guys are walking back, you guys see what looks to be about 5 or 6 individuals trying to gather and corral these 2 people that are now tossed in this storm. And you just see them as they're kind of just thrown around. You see a couple of mages or wizards going out trying to regain their colleagues that have and just being tossed around. You guys walking back, heading back towards your home. You guys pass, seeing life on the side as dug out Gildre's tombstone. You see him there. He murmurs a few things and then regains next to you. As he does so, he looks at you all. I couldn't find him. I asked, and he didn't answer.
Excuse me, what?
You guys too.
I just wondered if he was maybe able to talk still. But I didn't hear anything. I don't know if it means anything, but I feel like
Question: Does speak with dead require the dead body? It's like an effect of the dead.
you don't know what he did.
You don't know.
No,
what
I'm
it's
asking. I'm asking specifically.
You have to have the body.
Speak with dead, yes.
Yeah.
You have to have a hand at least.
Yeah, or something that can talk. You can't have a hand and.
Speak with dead is different in a lot of different
Yeah,
mediums.
signing to
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you say speak with dead, you like the body. I've played games where like a fucking ghost comes out of the fucking corpse.
Yeah, we get on that. That's why you gotta be careful of how you kill some bodies. That's why finding a body that's still intact is like, or a skeleton still can usually. But anyway, so you guys make your way back. Life rejoins you. He's got Teldris still with him. You guys find that Liam, as you guys make your way back, he comes rummaging out. Oxford's a good boy.
He's the best.
He helped me work in the basement, and I was able to get quite a bit of some of this ley line. You guys have a fucking huge one down there.
Yeah.
It's enormous. It probably runs most of the way through the planet. The amount
I'm
of
pretty sure. Don't we also have like? Oh, I'm not.
You know, you
Say
never
my
know,
house.
man.
This would be easy, you
the
guys.
amount of power and magic that we could possibly pull from this. If Hexwell and many of the if Hexwell and the Red Council knew of its existence, the use for the blue gem that they have maybe wouldn't be needed at all. The power, anyway. Tonight,
Wizard things that aren't cool anymore.
we need to find a way to clear the sky. Or we need a way that will be able to shine some light. I'll craft this, and then we'll have what we need.
Wait, do you need clear moonlight? Because I don't think we're gonna get clear moonlight in.
Do you know of a high peak? Something that can crest above?
I mean, we do have one to teleport that could take us anywhere fuck this has been.
Been odd, right? It was kind of misty.
And also, what's the other fucking continent's name? That isn't Rocks? Geom?
Geom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Geom would be a good one. We
then-
should go back to the town we met in.
We go to Geom, make the gym, teleport.
Yo, what's up, Rovan?
Yeah, why don't we go to Pug's house?
Oh shit, where it all began.
You know,
You know, have some sort of.
it might be a bit ransacked by goblins at this point, depending on how well that fucking went.
Oh yeah, there was a horde. There was a horde
And
in Geom.
Kodo would have stuck around for that. So
Well, and I mean, it was like Aurum, one of the actual capitals that was actually being formed. So,
Yeah.
like,
It was probably well.
you knew a lot of the other, you know, like Northroats and Reese and those places were probably fucked,
Yeah.
or at least not
Yeah.
been building anything
We
for
go
a couple
back to
months.
Pug's house and it's just somewhere like someone else there.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you?
Fuck right, bitch.
So, what do you guys want to do?
Well, we need to go somewhere with moonlight, or we can't make the counter gym. So that needs to be
It's
handled.
still fairly early.
I mean,
It's about
yeah.
midday, about
Yeah.
10, 11 a.m.
And wherever we go, we're gonna have to be able to stay. Because once I use this charge, I can get
Oh,
get it to
you only have two. You know.
like 5 or 6, whatever the sun comes up. 6.
Yeah, but we need the counter to the storm.
Right, but I'm
In a
saying
day,
wherever we go,
essentially,
we have
yeah.
to be able to be there for like 10 hours.
And so theoretically, we could.
I mean, you guys could technically go to High Peaks or somewhere and then just come back.
By
Yeah, but even the high peaks didn't have clear skies. We need clear skies.
True.
So Geom or all these things are only
Did they?
shots.
by Goose Boat, how far away is Albertine from Inventus? Is it like a
About a day.
Probably because
yeah.
carriage was like 2.
Two and a half. So probably about a day.
Why don't we send a message to Arwanda to inform her that like we have to like go somewhere with a moon to fucking make something to counter the storm. Like we have to do that now.
so we also have it's 2 days. would have 2 nights.
Yeah, but
The next night.
we want to start like we want to ambush them, so like we want to be there before they are.
That's a good point. Oh, jeez.
And you guys still don't know where they're going.
Yeah,
So-
that's a good point. I would love to go to. I'd love to go to Albertine to get more information, but there's no way to get there without teleporting.
Have we-
Well, you guys can teleport 2 times today, 2 times tomorrow, and 2 times the next day.
Time today.
One
Oh,
time.
that's right, 1 time.
And
today.
and don't we long rest? Isn't he rolling a d4 to see if he
Yeah.
gets? So it's up to 4 times.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
True, so you could really hit it and see, and that's a big thing too. You guys are guessing and you don't know if you get a 4, you could do everything you're trying to do almost in like 1 go tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's why that like the highest priority is making the
Yeah.
storm fuckery.
Yeah. And
And then you know you can at least get back even if it's a 1.
Yeah.
And then if it's a 2, you can do one more thing and still get back.
Yeah.
But if it is a we go tomorrow.
Yeah, it's got to be come back. Yeah, that's why he's saying you got to make the thing.
Yeah,
'Cause
we
if-
gotta make the thing tonight.
Right.
Yeah. So that way,
We have. And if we're waiting for nighttime, we have nothing to spend.
yeah,
doing
you guys do.
something.
Yeah, you guys could totally downtime it, do some stuff if you wanted to. You have Inventus, and you guys would have about 8 to 9 hours if you guys wanted to wait before it got to be, later in the night where you would be like 10 p.m. Or if you really wanted to wait, full max it out, thing would probably recharge it like from when you got it. We'll just say at midnight. We'll just say it'll recharge.
Oh, really?
Keep it on it. Well, that's almost when you guys got it.
Okay.
So that would be on like a 24-hour cycle. So if we're saying, from that long rest to then it would recharge at about 2 or 3 a.m. So you guys would need to do something for about 12 hours from now. You guys have about 12 hours to. And then you would have to teleport, go somewhere, get it crafted.
Protect them while they're crafting it.
Right.
Yeah.
Teleport
Do
back.
you
Teleport
use
back.
his carryover?
No.
Oh, so you only get a D4 per day.
Well, if you don't use it, you just re-roll it.
Oh, you re-roll.
So if you have 2 left, the next day, it expends it, re-roll.
So they're use them or lose them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they do not. You can't collect charges over
Right.
4 days. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because then if you didn't teleport around a lot, you'd be like, yeah, we're good for like 2
You
weeks.
could probably recharge it if you
Well,
actually.
no,
if it's
it-
a max
it-
of 4. I could just
So
always.
Oh,
if you didn't
right.
teleport for 3 days, you would have 4 charges.
No,
You could probably
no,
you could
just
probably
use them.
recharge
Yep.
its charges with a 7th level spell slot.
Yeah,
but we don't have
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Not that worried. Okay.
Time to ask for a ring with a 7th level spell slot.
We need a better ring of Storm, damn it.
Real talk though.
It actually kind of does. Oh, that's something we can do. Are you good? I filled up your ring, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got 3 shields and a vortex orb still?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I actually have things to do in downtime, so this is neat.
So does Magnus. It's called drinking.
Productive things.
Are you doing anything, Magnus?
I mean,
All right.
Well,
Are you doing anything, Fuckus?
unless I can use my Tinker's tools to like make
Work on my
explosives.
maps.
I mean, you could try. Yeah. I mean, there's stuff in Inventus. People are. I mean,
I
you
go buy a basic gunpowder and
all right, we'll say for about 5 gold, you buy enough stuff to try and make a couple of explosives from what you've seen magically created in around the area
I
from
just
you.
want like something hyper basic. Like, I
Right,
want,
that's what I'm saying, like a little grenade.
Just 5 gold, you said?
Yep. And then just give me a tinkering check. I mean, it'll be a high DC, but yeah. All right, what do you want to do? Fuck this.
I wanna like work on the maps, but I wanna also update. I wanna make copies of
Here, I actually.
the maps that I already have and like leave them here at the house.
27?
Okay. With that, you can make 1
It's fine.
grenade that you realize seems you spark a couple and they explode decently. It's not gonna maybe kill a man, but it'll do quite a bit of damage. Here, I actually got this for you, Jake.
How much damage does it do?
You're not sure.
What's it save?
It's dexterity 15. You need this, Jake, for your character. You would have compiled this so that you would have done this during downtime. I'll just put this in the group so everybody can
Question,
look at it.
my grenade, is it like a pull pin and then like a hold and explode? Or is it like a fuse?
How do you want it to be? Because you're the one who made it.
Pull pin.
Okay, pull pin. You got, we'll say 5 seconds.
Yeah, 5 seconds.
After you pull it. So this is the map that you would have been able to pull up and create along your journeys. Make sure this is the right one. Yes. Actually, give me an intelligence check at advantage or wisdom. I'll allow it.
It's first minute. So.
Yeah, I'll allow it an intelligence check or just a straight wisdom check at advantage. You can choose. I figured. That'll choose. That'll
22.
be. What is it?
22.
Okay, yeah, you got the good map. I'll give you this one.
Some of this.
All right, there. You guys can all look at that because he will be technically just carrying that around, but that's the map you would technically have known and seen by now.
Brand new coil.
Yeah, that's the right one. Yep. Yep. All right, so you take quite a while using, I'd say, take about a gold for paper, parchments, and, you know, just buying a bunch of stuff so you don't have to use your actual ink unless you have paper and parchment already on you. Which you might. I think you did. All right, well then, yeah, you should be good. We'll just say use whatever you had. So the next time you want to do any cartography work. All right, Aurum, what you got?
I would like.
I was also gonna make copies of maps and leave them at the house for like.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're here for a while. Yeah, you're good. You put one up on the wall for everybody to kind of look at. Yep, and then you hand a couple others. Okay.
We'll make a drift globe.
Oh shit.
I bought a crystal specifically for this purpose.
Okay.
Months ago, when like after I planted potatoes and was like, I need a drift globe, because it casts the daylight spell, which isn't actual sunlight, but I hope it'll work. It's magic, and that's just to make my potatoes grow a little better.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna spend the day making a drift
I
globe.
can't see it not helping plants grow underground.
God, I would hope.
Yeah, I would.
Like,
I'm looking at it. Yeah.
like the only reason it's not sunlight is so it doesn't fuck vampires or some shit.
Yeah, which is wild.
All right. So yeah, I would say you take better half of the
wildly too good.
the latter part of the day, and you gather some things, and you get some help from Dennisine if need be, and you easily, for the most part, make this. You get it installed underground. Work a little bit on your garden, making sure things are kind of at least closed off, the holes not, you know, ruining things, and things are at least growing and safe. You guys, for the most part, do that. As you are doing so, you feel as, you know, he's working on his map, and Magnus lets loose a couple explosives, testing what he's been working on. You guys have about an hour where you guys start gathering, you're eating. You take a few minutes to rest, and Aurum underground, you feel the slight, like, shake. You wait a moment. You think maybe that was Magnus throwing something, but no, he's done with his explosions.
You just hear me snoring.
You wait a minute, then you hear Grendridge. Hey guys, there's something out by the storm site. Something seems to be going on. Some of the druids and mages, they've called an immediate evacuation. You guys hear this low kind of rumble once more. You look out, and those of you that are at least on the first floor, at least near a window, just take a moment and you see the storm subsiding. Huge gusts of snow and wind that's been turning. You see it softly starting to subside. You wait a minute. You hear Denistine. What is it doing?
Nice, we're gonna have a kaiju.
You wait a minute. See the sub-zero temperatures start freezing on all of the windows. And then in a minute, you start feeling the condensation form and the meat temperature switch. And what once was this ice starts turning to this warmth. You start seeing the snow ripping off of the tops of your housing down onto some of the windows, and large pieces of snow start falling.
Upstairs, like right now.
You wait a few seconds, you look up. It seems as if the snow has stopped. Rendridge opens the door, he looks up. Hey guys! It's really fucking warm out here. He takes a step and you hear whoosh, almost like slush. Guys, it's really warm. He starts pulling on his like scarf and part of his attire. He looks around, and under the kind of darkness and what you're normally used to seeing is like this dark blue hue everywhere. You look and you start seeing this bright white light. Guys, something's down there by the town. You wait a moment, and above parts of the town, buildings, and about, I'd say 4 or 5 miles on the opposite side where you guys were just at near the storm site, you start seeing this bright orange, white, looming structure start forming. And you see melting snow start slushing down from some of the trees in the area. Guys, what the fuck is that? You see Grendridge as he points off in what looks like this huge, almost flame creature. An elemental of some kind. One that is huge and towering. As you see from the storm that stops and the wind that slowly subsides, and then you feel like this, and from around it, this wave of air just hits, and you see tons of snow, almost like an evaporative water wall, just start slushing around, and you feel the humidity start forming, and everything around start melting. Everybody starts looking at this as you start seeing this huge magma formed creature start walking towards the center of where you guys just were in town. You see one huge step. You see just the simmer of steam emitting from around this creature as the wind and the storm around it seems to be melting, as it doesn't even make it to where you guys are miles away now. Seeing this huge looming creature getting closer, you guys start making it out of your house where you look. What are you guys doing?
Well, I mean, I agree.
I sober up.
You switch your tankards. You see Grendridge and Denistine. What are we gonna do? You see Grendridge, she grabs onto his sword. Well, Denistine, I think I know what we're gonna do. At least what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go into town.
You can get a stab it?
Well, I'm gonna get the kids and everybody out of there first, and then I'm gonna stab it. Or at least try to.
Yeah, we gotta evacuate the town or move them.
Yeah, but we need to immediately control this so people can get out.
Well, I'm pretty sure people are going to start seeing the gigantic marshmallow flame heading towards town, and if they don't start running now, they shouldn't probably live much longer. You see Grendridge just start running immediately into town.
And
Denistine stands there. Oh my god. You see now, as you guys all burn,
this is probably happening at every other storm site in Hevixville too.
Denistine turns and he goes inside.
Debatable.
I'm gonna watch the children. I'm gonna make sure no one ransacks the house and that it stays okay. You guys need to go do something now. You guys start seeing immediately people start running from some of their homes towards the center of town. You see immediately this large, huge hulking elemental rear back in almost like slow motion tilt. It's right arm
away
and
is
part
it
of its shoulder. From you, about 3 miles.
Oh, it's so far.
Yeah, you guys are almost on like this crest and just by the pure like side of your house. And now with most of the snow and the weather kind of blown away, you guys can kind of see most of the town. And seeing through this now, you literally see this large, almost like meteor hulking form of this ball forming out of its right shoulder. You see it lurch up into the air, and then in a moment you see it bring down, almost like a bowling ball rolling from where its hand would be down its shoulder to where the center mass is, almost to where its face would be. And then rolling out, you see from its chest, it turns and it emits this huge explosion and this eruption out of its chest that seems to sink right into the center of town. And seeing Grendridge running towards the center of Inventus, you, Aurum, hear faintly in your soft gem, that feminine voice, once more. He's doing it again. People know too much. He's decided. The time has come. We must act. As you see this, you see people just running towards, and flames and just mists of steam start erupting from the snow that's being hit with tons of fire and magma. You see buildings start slowly beginning to topple over. This home in which you've barely been at and finally came back to, starting to become fires and flames like you immediately saw it when you arrived the first time. You all gather your things and you start heading towards the center of Inventus. And that's where we're going to stop today. We'll pick up next week with you guys figuring out what you're going to do. And we will not start immediately an initiative, but I will probably have the battle map and everything kind of situated so you guys can see or have an idea what you're kind of running into, so you guys can discern what you want to do.
I have one question.
Yep.
I have a scroll of elemental protection that I got from some cubes, if I recall.
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember what it does.
I think it protects everybody from an actual elemental within a sphere for up to 2 or 5 minutes. I'll look it up after this, but it's an actual sphere that elementals can't enter.
Okay.
Like it's like a barrier.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. So that would probably be pretty useful here.
Yep.
So I'll look that up in a second.
Yeah,
But
I'm like, this is the only time I'm ever gonna use this speed
Like
like scroll.
like a home base during the battle.
Yeah, something.
yeah. So you're about to die. You're good. Yeah. So
No, it's like the raid where like there's just that bubble and like,
Exactly.
leaves everywhere.
you got to do that one mechanic or you die. Everybody make it to the bubble. But yeah, we'll pick up there next week with you guys figuring out how you're gonna deal with this storm.
That puts a bomb on it. You have to spread out.
I mean, hey,
You'd have all the MMO.
one way to look at it is at least maybe one of the storms is gone.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Or will we?
Yeah.